Hey everyone, Great Value Nakey Jakey here, and I'm about to give myself severe hallucinations without taking drugs or choking myself or yelling at you like all the other YouTubers I've seen doing this.
I don't think you realize how insane this experiment actually is.
I want to feel like I'm on substances.
Apparently after just 30 minutes, you could be driven insane. Hey guys.
I'm gonna be subjecting myself to the ganzfeld experiment, first conducted in New York in 1974 by German psychologist Wolfgang Metzger and American parapsychologist Charles Honorton, along with the other guys, Adrian Parker and William Browd. They were there too. So this experiment involves cutting a ping pong ball in half, taping those halves over my eyes, shining a light through the balls, and constantly playing white noise in my ears for 30 minutes. This is a form of sensory deprivation, and with that, it deprives your brain of what it's made to do, which is process information. This is essentially the cause of the hallucination as far as I understand. When your brain isn't processing information, it'll just start freaking out and making fake stuff up to process on the spot. Kind of like that one friend who always suddenly seems to have a story to tell every time you try to tell one. Not everything's about you, Clark. Fuck you. Originally, the goal of this experiment was because the psychologists wanted to test the subjects who had been in a comfortable environment, which in this case was a lazy boy, a comfy armchair, where they had very little stimulation on their butt or on their back. They also had very little stimulation audibly and visibly. So the psychologists put real photos and videos in front of their faces while they had the ping pong balls still on, and they would ask the subjects to tell them how it made them feel. But then after the balls came off, the balls came off, the balls came off, the balls came off, balls came off. The psychologist would show each subject each of the pictures or videos that they had just showed them once again, but this time in a multiple choice batch with 3 decoys each time. And then the subjects had to give a scale from 1 to 100 with each item. 100 would be like, that's 100% the item you guys put in front of my face before. That is it. 1 would be like,
I don't know what the f that is. I've never seen that in my life.
So essentially they wanted to see if humans had some sort of untapped psychic ability. But I'm not doing that part. I'm just doing it because I heard it makes y'all screwy dooey and makes you trip balls. And full disclosure, I thought this was called the ganzfeld procedure because I thought it was some dude named Ganzfeld who suggested it after like hitting a G-bong one night at a party in Germany. Like, bro, wouldn't it be so stupid if we like listened to like a dead radio show or something while we had like ping pong balls taped to mine eyes? What? Yeah, I bet if you like put something in front of mine face while I'm sitting there all relaxed, I'd totally be able to tell what it is. We need to go home. But no, it's called ganzfeld because I guess in German that means whole field, which I just assume is a reference to subjects suddenly being able to use their whole brain field. But most of the experiments conducted back in the day showed that most people were not in fact getting the intended psychic side effects that the ping pong balls were supposed to give them, but some people did guess a bunch of things correctly, some of them. However, in Honorton's trials, patients reportedly would start having hallucinations, such as hearing voices and feeling people in the room that weren't there, sometimes even touching them, skewed perception of time, visions of different points in time, blah, blah, blah. That's the experiment I did. Others have tried this exact experiment on YouTube, and few people have been able to go even 30 minutes, except for YouTuber Eric Struck, who did it for 1 hour. I went for 1 hour and 1 minute. Also, I definitely don't advise anyone to try this experiment at home because it's pretty fucked up. It's strongly advised that no one with any severe mental health diagnoses, Don't try this if you got a diagnosis. This whole goddamn experience was so goddamn boring, dude. A lot of people have said that they've experienced what they believe to be ghosts or ghostly apparitions and voices appearing in front of them. Not me, dude. And I'm saying that even with like a 60% belief rate that the house that I did this experiment in is fucking haunted. I mean, there have been nights where I was sleeping in this house with no one else home, and I would just hear the doorknob of the room next to me just start jiggling as if someone was trying to get in. And I'm pretty sure I would have heard footsteps if it was like a person trying to break into the room, is all I'm saying, dude. I didn't hear anything else. But nothing really like that happened here, dude. Except I guess around like 10 minutes. It feels like somebody just opened the door. It did seem like somebody opened the door, so yeah, that was kind of weird. But that's pretty much it, dude. Pretty comfortable. Nothing's really gone south yet. Other than like a few minutes later when I started hearing what I thought was like old radio music from the 60s come through my headphones in the white noise. I'm legitimately feeling like I'm starting to hear like radio music coming through the white noise. I guess that is kind of weird, but I did use one of those ganzfeld experiment YouTube videos that just plays white noise for like 10 hours or something. So I guess there could be some room for error there. I don't know. It is kind of crazy because without any vision or anything and no sound, you truly do forget like that you're a person, you know? Huh? And then I guess around 15 minutes, I started having a bit of an existential crisis, whatever. Who isn't having an existential crisis nowadays? I'm starting to hear what sounds like a speech. Then around 18 minutes, I thought I heard what appeared to be a man doing a speech, and if I recall correctly, I thought it was in Spanish. I don't know what it's saying, but it sounds like a man talking. But again, this could be an error created by the sound I used in my ears here. Feels like somebody just walked in front of me. And yes, I do understand that that is especially strange given that no one was actually ever in the room besides me the whole time. The red doesn't look red anymore. Everything just looks black. Everything just looks black. The red light turned into black light, but I don't think that's incredibly unusual because like my brain got used to it. I'm hearing what sounds like it's a sword fight. After that, I felt like I was on a bus. I'm very clearly hearing like what it sounds like to be on a bus. Where's the no hammock sign? Probably because this whole damn thing was so boring. I still feel like there's a person like right here. Like right over there. Fine. Yeah, this experiment actually gave me an eerie feeling, whatever. And then I felt like there was someone walking next to me for pretty much the rest of the experiment, even to the point where I almost took off the ping pong balls because I legitimately thought that my friend came down into this room to mess with me while I was doing this. And then about 40 minutes in, I had completely lost it. No joke, it felt like somebody just flicked my nutsack. Like really lightly, just like. And after that, I may or may not have started to fall asleep. Whoopsie. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I drew little dots on the ping pong balls because I thought it would be funny if I looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger from that one scene in Total Recall where he ends up on Mars and his eyes are popping out of his head. I thought it would be funny, dude. Anyway, I got to the end of the experiment and I thought that I did something wrong because I could just barely see two little black smudges on the balls. So I tried to wipe them off because nothing was happening anymore. At the very end, I was just bored and hungry. Ultimately, this experiment was fine. I was pretty bored for most of it. I think it's one of those things that the internet is like fascinated by and hypes it up a lot. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it had no effect on me. It obviously did, but I didn't lose my mind or go crazy or anything like that. I kind of just sat comfortably for a little over an hour and almost took a nap. I will say, the whole effect where people talk about how they lose track of time and 1 hour feels like 20 minutes is absolutely true. I was very surprised when that timer went off. Whoa, that timer scared me. What a fucking waste of time that was. Would I recommend that anyone tries this? No! It's pretty boring, and there are so many other things that you could be doing while sitting comfortably, like playing chess, watching Dune 2, watching Babe 2, Pig in the City, playing video games, or staring at the ceiling instead of ping pong balls. Anyway, I know this one is a little different from the usual type of content that I make, and if you're still here, I appreciate you for staying. If you like this one, let me know if I should do any other experiments on myself. If they're relatively safe, I'll consider them. In any case, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Love you lots.